We cannot let the black man and black woman come together in any form of eroticism in the media. Because they know that when you come together, you see what I'm saying, and really know what you're doing, that you change shit. Because you say, well, wait a minute, hold on, I'm trying to figure this out, Bobby. How can you say me going into bed and bumping and grinding is going to change the universe? They're not talking about the dead niggas out there. They're talking about the conscious people. That's why there's got to be somebody in the consciousness. So the point I'm trying to make here is what they're not telling you here is when you hook up on the conscious level and bump and grind on the passion level, you change the universe, because the penis or the lingam is one part of the universe and the yoni is the other part of the universe. And when they come together, they change things.
Extremely powerful and old souls coming back on the earth, right? And this is why the warlocks have completely poisoned the physical environment, right, in the Americas, the most out of any other location on earth. That the original people of the Americas, most of the people who incarnated in North America were reincarnated souls from Atlantis. They were reincarnated Atlanteans. That the melanated people of the North America, right, so-called Washita, were the oldest people on earth, and which are Atlanteans. And if this is bullshit, why did the United Nations recognize it? Why did the United Nations recognize the claim that the melanated people of the Americas have the oldest DNA? They also said there was a so-called black man in South Carolina, and his Y chromosome, the melanated man in South Carolina, his Y chromosome was over 300,000 years old, or it was in between 250 and 300,000 years.
I don't know is most of y'all came from royal bloodlines. Most of y'all did. And when the invasion started happening, they started protecting the royal families. And this is why a lot of y'all are still here to this day, because y'all family was protected. Y'all need to do y'all research on y'all family, find out what y'all own, where y'all own things, you know what I'm saying? Because unfortunately, their whole purpose was to take out y'all whole lineage, including, you know what I'm saying, whatever is still standing to this day.
Exactly.
Y'all really need that. This is why this is why I always tell people, yo, research your history, find out who you are, where you come from, find out what's attached to your name, what things that y'all had before, because the reality of it is it's an open book. Y'all can reclaim y'all stuff. When all of our people start reclaiming their land and everything, man, it cripples their system. So this is very important for us to do this. They need you to stay alive. They are dying. The sun, we have entered another solar, the sun that entered our solar system. I'm sure y'all noticing how hot it is right now already. Y'all gotta pay attention. When people talking about these moon cycles and stuff like that, what they don't realize is the ancient Egyptians were really talking about the different cycles of the sun. Yep. When these different sun cycles come in, their whole purpose was to keep you in the house. This is why they told y'all, oh yeah, cold, blah, 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 stay in the house, right? Reason why they was telling you to stay in the house, because you, as a melanated dominant person, what happens is when you go outside, that sun enters your body, and what happens is your body starts to adapt to the sun. Them Nubians you see out there that dark like that, guess what? We tan just as dark. And the longer you stay out there, the darker you gonna get.
I'm gonna play a recording of people chanting, "That is embarrassing," 4 times. After the 4th time, write down what you hear. Interesting. Almost everyone here heard "that is embarrassing." Listen again and watch the screen. You heard the same thing every single time. Our eyes and ears take in electrical signals which our brains interpret based on our expectations. We don't see reality. We see our reality.
Now, NASA recently discovered something called X-points around Earth and also around the sun. These are naturally occurring portals that open and close every single day, all around the outside of our planet. The Themis satellite system discovered these portals a few years back, and they've been analyzing and watching them. Some of them create direct pathways to the sun and even to other planets in our solar system. So these are called X-points. They exist all around the outside of our planet. They're where magnetic diffusion points hit and cross, like our magnetic fields hit and cross. In some way, combining that crossing of electromagnetic fields with charged particles from the sun opens up a portal. Russia took pyramids and they hollowed them out. They built hollow pyramids in a laboratory setting outside, and they began to plant crops underneath the pyramids and took the same exact type of crops, planted them on the outside of the pyramid. And in these experiments, the crops they planted inside the pyramid structure in the sacred geometry grew almost twice as fast and were almost twice as abundant as the ones that were planted on the outside in the same exact soil. So they found out that there's something to do with the angles, right? Accessing these angles or these angels, to accessing this higher dimensional energy that feeds the third dimension that can be harnessed and utilized by third dimensional life forms. And so, this is incredible because then that same experiment was replicated many times, and we now know that a pyramid structure harnesses natural energy, not just harnesses it, but can actually transmute it into living things.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all boys, these new gun laws that they passing, they have me confused. See, a few days ago, they posed a law to take the guns from veterans. Yeah, the people who fought for the country. And we also been hearing about this assault weapon ban that they've been talking about. But here's where things get kinda wonky. Some magical way, they just ruled that legal migrants now have gun rights protected by the Second Amendment. And yes, you heard that, illegal migrants. Or, in other words, undocumented migrants. Now let's think about this for a second. If the three-letter boys are already sounding the alarm that we have a national crisis and we already might have sleeper cells already over here in America, then now it's easier for the sleepers to get, vroom vroom, calaboom booms and things that go bang bang. While simultaneously at the same time, you're making it harder for the American people to defend their families.
The purpose of Wakanda, right? Like I tell people all the time, the purpose of Wakanda was to show us what to actually do. Because if you study Wakanda, if you study that movie, if you study Black Panther, which means if you read their comic books, their comic books are more advanced than the actual movies. Their whole purpose for being on Earth was to actually build a ship, a starship to travel the cosmos. Of course, go back home and visit their home, but they just want to travel the cosmos and explore other worlds and do what Nubians were meant to do. Nubians are basically galactic spiritual scientists, advanced beyond even our own comprehension. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what Wakanda's job was to do. You're not meant to stay here on Earth. We are galactic travelers. So we're stuck here from many different wars, all this other different type of stuff happened. But okay, now we created what we are today, and that's what the next phase is. You know what I'm saying? The next phase is galactic travel. You know what I'm saying? Exploring new worlds, exploring new life forms, exploring new news and new information. You understand what I'm saying? That is what we here to do. That's what Wakanda was really all about, showing us.
We live in a world where this could happen any moment. Watch.
Was that a gun?
Watch what happens.
I'm not the shooter. It's Matt Courtney. I saw him.
Do you know what it means now? Fuck, are you shot?
This happens very often. So sad.
It's always like, I'm gonna pray for you. And it's just like, you can actually physically do something yourself too, more than just pray. And we're so in this mentality that's all that needs to happen, but we ain't praying our way out of prison. We ain't praying our way out of the abortion clinics. We ain't praying our way to get our land back that was always ours after gentrification, after the Harlem Renaissance and Black Wall Street was burned to the ground. Them prayers ain't working. We have to apply actual physical building partnerships, and it don't start unless we could really be real with each other and say, this is what I did, this is what I did. Like, I mean, look at this.
Men don't approach women anymore, and the real reason why they don't approach women anymore is not because you're successful, it's not because you're beautiful. They don't approach women anymore because these new day women, these modern day women, are highly disrespectful. These women are so confused, right? They're so confused, they swear that nobody hollers at them, nobody approaches them, no one pursues them. But why would a man pursue you when as soon as he even works up the nerve to say something to you, you reject him, you belittle him, you tell him that he's thirsty, you tell him that he's pressed, you tell him that he doesn't have enough money. You tell him that he does not qualify for your time or your attention. And then you wonder why they don't want to deal with you. This is why they're not approaching you. And this is the crazy part. You got a lot of women that are so stuck in time, right? They're not getting approached. No one wants to deal with them, right? And they won't even switch it up enough to even go at a man because they're scared of rejection. And I said it, men take rejection way better than women do. Women are delusional. Most women want to be lied to. A woman will put on an outfit knowing that she gained 30 pounds and have the nerve to come in front of you and say, do I look fat in this outfit? And if you say yes, you're the bad guy. We still love women. We don't mind pursuing women, but no one is chasing nobody, especially when it's not appreciated. And
girls have a sassy list for men. This is the masculine list for girls. So if you do this, you're masculine. Girls that say bro, masculine. If you play basketball, masculine. What are you, Magic Johnson? Throwing up gang signs in a picture, masculine. Roll smoke backwoods or black and milds, masculine. Powerlifting in a gym, what are you, Arnold Schwarzenegger? Masculine. Gambling on sports or anything, masculine. Go be a cheerleader. Working at a warehouse, masculine. Eating steak, masculine. What are you, a monster? Go eat a salad. If you have a wide back, masculine. Why is your back big? If you have been to jail, masculine. You're aggressive. If you have a male friend, that's masculine. Listening to trap drill music, super masculine. And girls that take solo vacation trips, masculine. What are you, fucking Christopher Columbus? Chill out. That's the list.
Makeup was for dead people, right? And old people. And then, I don't know what time it happened where we started putting this stuff on, but it's ridiculous. If you having skin issues, that means that the way that you're consuming your lifestyle is not serving you. So why patch it up? Fix the problem. You don't need to wear makeup. If you clean up your lifestyle, exercise, hydrate yourself with natural foods. I don't wear makeup. I don't do any of that because I truly accept myself for who I am and what I am. And to help that process, I consume a certain way. I live a certain way. So you're going to radiate when you change your life in the fullness, holistically. So there's no excuse.
This is the end for Ryan Garcia.
I got a paper here because everybody likes facts. They want papers, right? Everybody wants the proof? Okay. Well, let's go into, this is surface level proof. This is common knowledge if you're really paying attention. Okay, the first fact, with human trafficking, including sex trafficking. The global industry of human trafficking, including child sex trafficking, is estimated to be worth $150 billion annually.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
$150 billion annually. Do you understand what that means? I don't even know how much Amazon is worth, but if this is worth 150 billion, I mean, it's about time we start paying attention for the children. Number 2, globally, the International Labor Organization estimates that 1.2 million children are trafficked each year. 1.2 million children are trafficked each year.
Around the world.
Around the whole world. The U.S. in particular, where we live, where I live, the U.S. is the #1 nation in the world for consuming child sex material.
What do you think is going to happen to Ryan after?
People rally up under this video and just kind of answer a question for me. A genuine question too. Like, if you black, please don't fucking come under here. Why do y'all genuinely dislike conscious artists, conscious content creators, hoteps, or anybody who tries to push pro-blackness? Like, why do y'all find them irritating? Y'all don't like them. And I'm one of them, like, genuinely. And I'm starting to realize that it's starting to just be counteractive. It really is. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm doing it for at this point. But real shit, I just want to know why y'all have like a bone to pick with people like that. That's all I want to know, genuinely.
Don't have fur. There's a big difference between, your hair, which is 9 ether hair that grows up towards the sun, and 6 ether hair that grows down to the ground, which is fur. It's a big difference. We have 9 ether hair. We are 9 ether beings. We are the sun. We are the sun people, period. We are the like you said, melanin dominate people. Mm-hmm. These are melanin recessive people that y'all see that have been claiming y'all land, have been claiming everything that belongs to you.
It's time for us to stop buying from these grocery stores, growing our own food, and creating our own network. Every other culture have their own network, have their own stores. You have their own lawyers, have their own doctors, have their own literature, have their own libraries. We are the only people that have become disassociated with not only each other, but with ourselves. So if you growing some type of crop and I'm growing some type of crop, there don't need to be any money exchange. I need your crop, you need mine. Let's figure out how we're gonna make the exchange. And if we just do that time and time and time again, you'll look up, we'll be back on top, we'll be off the grid. We have disassociated ourselves with the government, and we're eating and we're growing our own food and we're siphoning our own water from the earth. So I say well water if you can. If not, you know, get you some natural spring water. There's a lot of people, black people out here in woodlands with their own spring. It's time for us to start creating networking relationships, because the dollar is going to become obsolete. The Fed coin, or the Fed now coin, is coming out July the 1st. So I give it a couple of more years, money is not going to even mean nothing. Meaning you can have money and you ain't gonna be able to go to the store and even buy that fruit that's gonna kill you anyway, unless you use your Fed now card, unless you get a barcode scan on your forehead or on your hand. So, you know, we're being forced to become the gods we're meant to be.
We need to eat from earth. Eat more green things, eat more colorful things organically grown from Mother Nature, and we need to ground out. Your shoes and your clothes are killing you. Half the stuff we wearing got polyester in it, which is going to mess up your electrical magnetic frequency and bring down your hertz. The more your hertz go down, the more you're prone to so-called diseases. So make sure that you're wearing as much cotton as possible, especially when you come up towards your heart. Another thing is your shoes. You're supposed to have your shoes on only when you're walking on concrete. Other than that, keep your shoes off as much as possible, because that's the way we ground out and get a lot of the protons inside of our body to get rid of a lot of the protons and bring in more electrons. Electrons is the feminine side of nature. That's the nature side of chemistry. It's a negative charge, but it has a way of taking these things from a catabolic state to anabolic state. And from a cation to the anion just means from acidic to alkaline. And you get that just by taking your shoes off. Go hug a tree. It's something called nature deficiency order, where you stay away from nature too long and you will get depressed and you actually get sick. And they took some orphans that was going through these psychological depression changes. They took them to nature for 2 weeks and they didn't have the suicidal thoughts no more. They regained their consciousness. They had purpose. Their imagination came back. They was loving on each other.
If I can resist and get in control of my stomach to say, hey, I know you're hungry, but I'm not eating. I know I need something to drink, but I'm not drinking. What does that do when we want to stop smoking? What does that do when we want to stop drinking? It says, hey man, if I can deny myself and build the strength to deny that which I know I need to survive, that which I know I don't need, that'll be more of a piece of cake. So the fasting helps us build discipline in the areas that we're not so disciplined in. And it's not always just smoking and drinking. It's other areas as well. So if I can discipline myself to fast, discipline myself to get up every morning with us and read every part, when we know some days it's going to be hard to get up. That's a part of. So if I can build the will to do that, what about when I want to give up on my fitness goals? What about when I want to give up on my business goal? What about when I want to give up in all, you see all these different areas? Oh, I'm just not going to eat. I'm just starving myself. No, don't let this be where you just starving yourself. This should be a time where I'm not eating, but I'm reading. I'm getting more clear in my thinking. I'm more focused. I'm more intentional. That's what this is all about. So I just wanted to give those of y'all who are new just that background, and it's more than just, I'm not eating for the day. No, we not cussing. We not having sex during the day. We're not arguing with nobody. That's a part of the process. When the trolls come, when people want to argue, not right now. I'm fasting. And watch how it clean your spirit. Watch how that it gets all the negativity off your mind.
Look at that, y'all. Look at that. We refer to that planet as Saturn, y'all. And they play crazy and they try to make it seem like that's not Saturn. They always try to tell y'all Saturn is Satan. Bro, Saturn is the sun, the yellow star Kachina. Saturn is the planet of karma. Why do you think they tell you that the sun is finna burn up everything that's low vibrational? Understand what I just told you? Ashe.
We're taught very young, when we do something good, we should poison ourselves, typically with processed sugar. And then we look around at the adults and they're poisoning themselves with alcohol and drugs. You think about most holidays, most birthdays, most family parties, most major events, they're all celebrated with synthetic toxic chemicals that do harm. Why is that? Typically because that's what we've been taught through the generation before us, working with so many people who suffer from a lineage of bad decisions and health issues. Your granddad had a heart attack and died, your dad had a heart attack and died, and you have advanced cardiovascular disease on your way to having a heart attack and dying. Like, hey, dummy, like you got to break the cycle here. Now you're passing it down to your kids because you're eating a bucket of fried chicken every Tuesday night. The whole concept of People, they celebrate these major milestones by poisoning themselves. It's a cultural affect that people will aggressively defend. So I'll put, hey man, like my kids' Easter baskets, they don't have any candy in it. It's all like stuffed animals and toys and really cool stuff. And people are like, your kids are gonna grow up, and people say nasty stuff. It's like wishing my kids harm because I choose not to harm my kids today. It's like we're teaching them something different.